I want us to now talk about religious re-education. Why am I putting this? When I was the director of mission and dialogue in the Catholic Secretariat, the Muslim youth came to my office and said, Father, help us to organize a conference. And the title is Religious Re-education. I said, well, I just played with them. I said, the Holy Quran is complete. Do you need any re-education? Say, Father, I would like us to address the issue of, people who have been brainwashed. But that is beside the point. So some Muslims and Christians have expressed the need for religious re-education in Nigeria. When I was confronted with this need, I tried to inquire if there is anything wrong with the religious education we have had hitherto. I discovered that religious education has been deleted from the syllabus of many schools, while it does not even exist in the curriculum of some schools in Nigeria. A further inquiry reveals that many people are afraid of religion because they think that religion has done more harm than good in many parts of the world. On February 17, 2012, All Africa posted that as religion grows, so does interfaith conflict in Africa. This publication claims that Nigeria is not the only country that is experiencing religious-related conflict. Egypt had a very high record of violence, especially the conflict between Muslims and Orthodox Christians. The insurgency of Ivory Coast was given a religious dimension. Some people thought that it was a conflict between the north with a predominantly Muslim population and the south with a predominantly Christian population. The propagandists of Al-Shabaab also raised an alarm of religious conflict in Kenya. According to the report of the Citizen newspaper, the religious harmony in Tanzania is threatened to such an extent that the Muslim Council of Tanzania, BAKWATA, had called on the government to form a special commission of religious leaders to be proactive in the sustenance of peace. Some part of Mali was ravaged by religious violence. The conflict of the government with the Islamic movement of Nigeria, Shiite, has just claimed the life of some top police officers and Shiite protesters. May they rest in perfect peace. These are only a few examples of countries in Africa that are experiencing religious-related violence. The worst indication of the fear of religion is intra-religious conflicts. Intra-religious conflicts. I've been confronted by many people with a question on the future of interreligious dialogue in Nigeria, in particular, and in the world in general. Some people have expressed total loss of confidence in interreligious dialogue for unimaginable reasons. Some Christians now find it very difficult to trust their Muslim neighbors, whom they have loved and cherished. I do not know the veracity of their claim that some people operate on the adage that the fact that you love an animal does not mean that you should not kill it. This is expressed in Hausa as Sabuwa Dakanza Batahana Yanka. Some Muslims and Christians have accused some preachers of both religions for preaching inciting sermons which provoke violence. This has deepened the mutual suspicion from both sides. This is where the demands for religious re-education is very instructive. This would help to debrief and de-radicalize those who have been brainwashed and indoctrinated. There was a time in the history of the church when the Holy Bible was quoted out of context. A lot of studies, and this was done because of self-interest. A lot of studies, namely exegesis, textual and historical criticism of the Bible, have helped a great deal to make the true message of the Bible relevant for all ages. It is time for our Muslim brethren to vigorously expose the contextual power of the Holy Quran, to reveal to the world that Islam is indeed a religion of peace. It's time to let people know that some war verses in the Holy Quran and the Old Testament of the Bible were revealed in the context of war. These verses, which were valid in that time, our situation may not be relevant in our modern world if we are serious with the promotion of religious coexistence. Religious re-education is an authentic narrative of the sacred texts. The way the message of the Quran is lived can testify that the Holy Book does not promote violence, but the dignity of the human person. The Quran supports peace building to such an extent that Muslims are instructed to believe that if anyone slays a person, it would be as if he slew the whole world and the whole people. And if anyone saved a life, it would be as if he saved the whole life of the whole people. Quran chapter 5 verse 32. Consequently, the good life of every Muslim is a renewed testimony in the world, the modern world, as prescribed by the glorious Quran. The noble, honorable, and good life of a Muslim can contradict the opinion of some people who believe that some Muslims have been taught that a person who does not practice Islam is not better than a vulture. I've read the Bible and the Quran from cover to cover. I've also read the commentaries. I've read the Sunnah. I've read the Hadiths. My discovery is that these holy books promote human dignity, but many Christians and Muslims, through their bad behavior, present to the world a false teaching of the sacred scriptures. I've seen so many good and holy Christians and Muslims who have proven that the religion they practice is a complete way of life from the sacred scriptures. St. Paul captured the abuse of religion in the second chapter of his letter to the Romans, that because of their actions, the name of God is blasphemed among unbelievers. Romans chapter 2 verse 24. Many people, so many people, have mistaken the actions of some people as a dogma, that is the belief of their religion. Each time we practice mischief in the name of religion, we insult God and ridicule our religion. Because of the many bad habits some people have acquired in the name of religion, the call for religious re-education becomes imperative. The big question is, how? Where do we start from in attempting to re-engineer the brain and the mind that has been filled with religious garbage for so long? Mahatma Gandhi told a group of Christians, I love your Christ, but I hate your Christians. He said this because he felt that some members of the group he was addressing were not projecting the true image of Christ in the way and manner they live. In other words, their witness of life did not show that they were ambassadors of Christ. I still believe that there are so many Christians and Muslims today who bear true witness to the scriptures. This is why the call for religious education and education is necessary for our present age. How do we go about this? Who is to plan this project? Who is to execute it? Who will be the teachers and who will be the students? Is it enough to make religious education mandatory at all educational levels? What do we do about the religious books that have flooded the world with wrong doctrines and have been accepted for use in some of our schools? How could the fanatical preachers who promote interreligious hatred in our various churches and mosques be re-educated to stop misleading the innocent followers? Do we need licenses for preachers? Who should issue the license? Should it be the religious experts, leaders of government? There's nothing wrong with religion. Honestly, there is nothing wrong with religion. It is the adherents of the different religions that need proper education and awareness. Let us begin to think of how to redeem our God-given religions from those who have become manipulators of religion. The essence of dialogue is to promote peace in their society. Now we'll go to the last session, implication of dialogue for Nigeria. The bold proclamation of "Let peace reign in Nigeria" was the theme of the second quarter meeting of the Nigeria Interreligious Council, NIREC, held on March 29, 2019 at the NIREC Luxury Hotel, Abuja, laying a strong emphasis on the imperative of justice and good governance. In furtherance of this aspiration, justice and good governance for peace was chosen as a theme for the third quarter meeting of July 23, 2019 at Sheraton Hotel, Abuja. This theme was necessary more so now that the nation is increasingly staring into the abyss of unnecessary religious and ethnic conflicts. Central to this is the need to realize and recognize that God created human beings in his likeness, and the justice of God lies in the fact that God has made himself and his love known to everyone without admixture of error. God has put in the hearts and minds of everyone how to live and relate to each other on the earth that he has given us freely to dwell in. Ethnic and religious stigmatization will therefore be a distraction in dealing with people who have chosen the path of criminality. Crime has no religion. Crime has no tribe. Good governance is an antidote to this danger, under which everyone, zones and religions are exposed to the dividends of justice. Peace would flow like a river when equity is respected in governance. Irrespective of the definition criteria used, we can perceive a structure of three classes in Nigeria: the upper, the middle, and the lower classes. The lower class. These classes are not mutually exclusive, as people transit from one class to the other all the time, and peaceful coexistence demands a high level of interaction between them. Here I would like to remind us that no condition and no position is permanent. If you are a president today, 1 week after you hand over power to the next person, your phone will no longer ring. According to Ruben Abati, the phone will no longer ring. Very many people come to you. They come to you because of your position, not because of who you are. Drop your office. Nobody will invite you again. If I was not the executive secretary of NIREC, Kambeya would not invite me. I know that very well. So, largely in every society, the lowest class tends to have the least education and the means to move up into the other classes. However, many of us have overcome the barriers of moving up and away from the lowest class. Authentic justice will depend on how we manage the lowest class. One of the ways to do this is to recognize and tap into the natural knowledge that is innate in every human being. Irrespective of formal education, every member of the aforementioned classes can actively participate in dialogue of life, religious experience, encounter, action, and dialogue of love. In dialogue of theological exchange and literary discourse, we tend to discount any possible contribution from the lowest class, as these are dismissed as uneducated, or, after all, they are illiterate. To make dialogue more effective, comprehensive, or encompassing, it should involve individuals at the grassroots, so as not to reduce dialogue only to the pages of newspapers. social media, and academic conferences. This is why NIREC is embarking on reaching the geographical zones and states of Nigeria. NIREC will continue to engage the youth, and this will include reaching out to the students in primary, secondary, higher institutions, and NYSC orientation camps. Another initiative is the proposed training of trainers in the boardroom of the Office of NIREC at the Federal Secretariat Complex, Abuja, which is intended to produce experts in dialogue and peace building who will take the message of justice, peace, and good governance to every Nigerian. The transformation of any society depends on the level of the positive change of attitude of every one of its members. Once individuals have peace within themselves, we can then guarantee a society, a nation, adorned with peaceful coexistence. Since NIREC is made up of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Nigeria Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, NSCIA, it would not be out of place for any Christian or Muslim to write a petition to the council. Because sometimes somebody will just take the right, you will just be attacking the other side. So the co-chairmen of NIREC are committed to looking into matters that could cause conflict between Christians and Muslims. The Office of the Secretary to Government is giving the council appreciable attention. This has made NIREC a visible sign of government's promotion of dialogue and peace building. We therefore are encouraged to take advantage of this development to make Nigeria a peaceful and secure nation. If you must demand justice in writing, think properly of whose interests you are fighting. In collaboration with NIREC, faith-based councils like Abaya or organizations need to take very seriously conflict transformation, which could bring about harmony and religions that should exist between all the aforementioned classes using all forms of dialogue. The tools for these relationships are unbiased and focused service delivery, prompt emergency response, faithfulness to our laws, intensive application of basic human rights, as well as close collaboration and transparency among the executive, legislative, and judicial arms of government. To address some of the challenges, there is also need to develop relationship building strategies for the elites of the middle class based on social justice. I said it because the elites, the intellectuals, they are the bridge that connect the upper and the lower. They can take information from the lower to the top, and they can take from the top to the bottom. There's an urgent need for the middle class to engage in rational evaluation before reacting to issues raised on the media or online. Promoting unverifiable and uncharitable information can lead to anarchy and conflict. While everybody has a right to listen to, there's need to identify a target partner who would respond, since dialogue is a call and response activity. I'm rounding up, don't worry. Those at the bottom level should be meaningfully engaged such that they can take care of their basic needs. Religious leaders should be proactive in establishing and promoting mutual relationship. Already existing friendship helps in preventing mutual suspicion and prejudice. It aids non-violent advocacy, limit damage, aids reconciliation, healing of trauma and hurt, regeneration, and working on the historic memory. Existing relationships give rise to the creation of social space for offering and receiving graciousness. It creates space for discovering and building new relationships. Justice and good governance can open the hearts of the citizen for peaceful coexistence. Credible people and criminals exist in every tribe. To prevent the syndrome of stigmatizing a particular ethnic group, criminals must be made to face justice regardless of their tribe or religion. To assist the government security agent in doing this, traditional and political leaders of each tribe, ethnic group must expose the criminals who are destroying their ethnic integrity and shaming their tribes. As the saying goes, the relation of a mentally challenged person has a duty to prevent him from roaming the forest and streets. The bad eggs in the various ethnic groups must be disciplined by their leaders to know that a good name is better than silver and gold. Conclusion. Conflict has never brought success or progress to a person. Community or nation, let us therefore promote only the information that is true, good, and useful to build a healthy society. Let writers keep their pens from provocative publications, just as those who talk should keep their tongues from evil and their lips from hate speeches. Government at all levels must have the political will to manage ethnic diversity and religious pluralism. Let us try to harness the innate beauty and strength of our diversity. Unity is strength, and in justice, we can stand strong as a united people. Yes, in justice. We can carry our Nigerian passport with pride as good Nigerians. Let us be good ambassadors of our own and native land. May God bless us with justice and good governance. May we love as human beings who will give account to God on the day of judgment. May the peace of God abide with us forever. Thank you for listening.